Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Drop it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast, early morning edition.
Yes.
I'm Ted. He's Smool. Thank you for listening to us. Again, thank you to Shipley for producing for us in the background. I just barely made it. Katie's been gone for work. I missed the kids getting the bus on time, so I drive them to the two schools and then get Rusty off. But we're here.
There we go.
So that rigmarole kind of describes our circa picks the last 2 weeks, but
yeah, rough.
it's been a cooler. For dog players, we've been playing the dogs wrong weeks this year.
Yeah, I mean, the dogs have been great. It's just the big ugly ones.
We've been missing we have not put our picks together well in circa.
No.
But like we said, it's a full season. Bad weeks do happen. We just kind of lumped them together a little bit.
Yeah.
But the one thing we do not hide from our plays.
Nope.
We do post them and keep track. It was brutal last week, Smool. You went 1-6, getting to 14-25 in the year.
Woo.
And missed Stanford for your college play. Got you at 3-3 there.
Yeah.
I went 2-3 in the NFL, put me at 15-17, and I happily missed my West Virginia play. I thought that was a horrible spot for the Clones, and
it was
again. And I am 0-5 in college plays. I'm so happy about that one, though. That was
Hey, I love it. It's gonna be, like I said. I'll hold by it. I said if they win that game, I feel like they'll make the playoffs just based upon what they have remaining. I think they can even afford to slip up. It's getting, but I don't think what people are talking about in the college aspect is that, everyone looks at the SEC and how many they have ranked, and that's fine. But these teams are going to beat each other up, and eventually that hurts you more than it helps you. And they're just going to have to pick and choose. It's like, who are you going to go with?
Well, it really just depends. So, it just depends on the rest of it plays out. Like, if, let's just say Iowa State stubs their toe against somebody and then loses in the Big 12 championship game.
Sure.
To a team that's clearly there too, and Iowa State is the clear number 2 team in the Big 12. There's nobody else there close. They're getting in over a 2-loss Notre Dame who has a loss to Northern Illinois.
Yeah, right.
If Notre Dame loses again.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're getting over, Iowa can legitimately go 10-2 as well. But they beat Iowa head-to-head. They're getting in over a 2-loss Iowa team. That's going to happen as well.
Right.
That's just 2 examples I heard people talking about. It might even been Condon in them the other day.
Yeah. I mean, the SEC has all these teams ranked too, and it's like, I talked to a guy on Twitter. I was like, I'm just curious on where your thought was coming from. And he said, well, he gave, I don't know, six maybe examples of SEC teams. I'm like, well, you're not wrong if the season ended today.
That's right. Yeah.
But the thing is these teams are playing, if Bama loses this week at Tennessee, okay, where do they lie, right? They're probably not playing for the SEC title, so are you going to put them in?
They're going to put 4 SEC teams for sure getting in. 3-loss teams are getting over 2. They're going to because
they'll give them 4, but that notion of 6 to 7 of these, if you looked at it now, 6 would be in, but it just won't hold up.
No, I agree.
You just can't.
And we just had Drew Shipley ask about Army or Navy. I mean, so they're considered part of that non-power 4, right?
No shot.
So are they not considered part of that?
No, they are, but Boise, that running back's they'll put him on the.
You think one of them needs Boise to stub their toe?
Yeah. Well, UNLV's not bad either.
Yeah, they had a bad loss the other week.
They did, but
one of those undefeated teams will get in over a one-loss UNLV. They just will. But like Army and Navy have to play each other yet. They both have to play Notre Dame yet. So again, there's 3 teams right there that there's a lot of season to figure stuff out yet, which is just kind of part of it.
Yeah, and we'll know more this week. I mean, it's a massive slate. There's going to be goofy stuff that happens again, and teams are going to fall, teams are going to rise, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, it's just so interesting to play with, especially with all this travel stuff. Like, you guys thought this was a good idea for your teams. That's why the reason that they're seeing how that's playing out, and that's why the Big Ten especially is wanting to take control of this deal so they can make sure they get 4 in every year, because they're going to start losing some games because of that.
Yeah, I mean, and I knew that would be. I've said that even prior to this. I'm like, man, the travel situations and spots here are going to be really difficult for these kids. I mean, and you see it, whether it's far east going west or, west going east. I said that 2 weeks ago in our chat with USC was like off of Michigan. Then they went back to USC to play. It wasn't even a big game. And then they went on the road to Minnesota. And I'm like, man, this is a brutal spot. This is hard travel. And, it's hard for these kids, to do that when you're not accustomed to it.
It's just going to be different for a while. And look, the records don't really lie on that, on how it's been so far. So
yeah,
we'll see. The expanded playoff certainly helps with that. Like the Ohio State loss could have been a death sentence. It's certainly not anymore. It doesn't do anything to them. It's just,
no.
They'll get a chance to play them again later, and they would play each other tough. It wasn't a blowout. It was win or loss in that situation.
Yep.
When it's that close, it was what it was.
Correct.
But all right, man. I need to just start putting our Thursday night plays. I am now 5-0-1 on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
It was just a bad spot. I hammered the Broncos last night.
Yeah.
It was such a bad – and my whole reasoning it's not that the Broncos are dominant or anything like that. It was the Saints are on a backup rookie quarterback coming into a short week with their top 2 pass catchers out. Yeah. And Sean Payton literally created Dennis Allen, like found him, did him too. And that was just I will take Sean Payton on a short week on something he's been looking forward to coming to that building to really want to win. He has not been on a short week for that game. Just the Saints were on a down man situation, and it was very, very one-sided.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, from the get-go.
But I liked way too many games this week.
Okay.
I didn't put the Broncos on my card last night just because I just didn't, because I had so many other plays that I passed on it. So I'll go ahead and get us kicked off. I'm going back to it. Jags let us down in London last week. It hasn't been good. Doug Peterson cannot go 0-2 in London and probably keep his job when he gets back. I think agree. They have to win this game. The Patriots are bad.
Yeah.
They're just getting there. You've been in London for 2 weeks now. I like the Jags at -5.5.
Okay. I actually don't hate this. I don't have it, but I don't hate it either. Yeah, I actually kind of liked what I saw from Drake May, to be honest. I was a little impressed. I mean, you're going to have this rookie quarterback. They hold on to the ball so long, and they make some bonehead decisions, right? I mean, but the ability to move the ball downfield is something the Patriots hadn't had. So I don't mind what I see from him. But, yeah, I don't hate it.
I don't either. And the only reason – I both like Drake May. The reason I didn't want to see him yet is because I just didn't want him to get thrown in that mess.
Yeah.
Battle line. Like Stevenson's was out last week. It doesn't think he's going to play again. And they just don't have – they have to surround him with weapons. And not miss. And maybe go pay and get a guy.
Sure.
I don't like overpaying for whatever receivers, but you have to get somebody that's sure-handed and a vet in there for him too.
Hey, in today's age in football, man, you need – if you don't have a good wide receiver, good luck.
So, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And whoever they draft, what's his name, Polk or somebody like that?
Yeah, Jalen Polk.
looks like they missed again.
Oh, they always miss.
I mean, they just cannot get a wide receiver right. It's crazy.
No. Yeah.
Absolutely.
In fact, he might be one of their better ones.
I don't. We'll see. But yeah, you might be right.
All right, I'm gonna go. Plug your nose. Titans plus 9.5 at Buffalo. Not a play necessarily on Tennessee as much. It just playing against Buffalo here. Big number, huge number. I like the Bills team. I think they've kind of proven that they're maybe not as dominant as some people had thought. But the Titans defense is legit. They're real. Will Levis sucks. That is also real.
He's really bad.
But I just, I think the Titans defense can keep it in line. Levis not making the turnover. The acquisition of Amari, I think, inflates this line too, as well. Everyone's going to be rushing to bet Buffalo here. This just feels like too many. Buffalo isn't your kind of – they just don't have that same feel like the high-powered offense.
They haven't looked great the last couple of weeks either.
No.
They won against the Jets. They should have lost.
Yeah, they should have lost that game. So, I don't know. I think that plays a factor as well. And it feels like maybe a little kind of let off the brakes type of game off of that.
I do think Buffalo's going to win, but that's a ton of points.
Yeah, a lot of points. So, I don't know.
Okay, I can cheer for you on that one.
Okay.
Will Levis is so bad that I just feel like he's giving the other team 7 points every week.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
It's so bad. Like, there's zero chance to be the quarterback next year, and that's why I said I hope they're in the position to get. The more I watch Shedeur Sanders, I get it. Take everything else away from him. If you just look at the tape, he is NFL made for how accurate he is on stuff too.
Dude, he's bet more accurate than half the league.
He's very, very accurate and accurate throwing on the run and planting his feet. That's why he's a different. He's not like Jalen Daniels or different. Jalen Daniels is crazy athletic, but there's similarities into how well they on the move, how accurate they are at that young, and that's what they keep talking about. He's going to end up with your Raiders, and he's going to end up sucking because they are nowhere close to being ready for a young quarterback to come in and try to do anything there.
I don't think he'll end up there, unfortunately, but I think there'll be some other. You do? I don't know.
I'm a big Deion guy, so I hope he's not because I want to cheer for him. He's a Raider. I gotta hate him.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. The thing is that you got so many bad teams. I mean, how do you even know? You can make the case.
I hope he ends up in Nashville. I truly hope he ends up in Nashville. They have an offensive mind there now. Coach does not like Will Levis. Nashville is is it maybe his scene? Probably not, but that is a booming city that has marketable appeal and stuff that he's looking for.
Vegas is more his scene.
What's that? Vegas is way more his. That screams Shedeur Sanders. Nashville doesn't. But you know what I'm saying though. There is.
I agree.
Marketing availability in Nashville. The fastest growing city there is.
Yeah.
So I'll cheer for you.
Okay.
All right, I got a stinky one for you.
Perfect.
And this is literally more about. It's actually not stinky. It's just I'll explain why I'm taking it. You're gonna hate it, I think.
Okay.
The Colts at home -3 versus Miami.
Okay.
The Dolphins are an absolute train wreck right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do with they have no quarterback. They are so dependent on McDaniel's system, which kind of tells on him that if you can't adapt to your personnel, then you better make damn sure you have a backup quarterback that can do what you need to do, which is set high, quick reads, ball out early. They don't have those guys. They had like athletic dudes that play off script as their backups, and that's what Huntley is too. Yeah. They're really bad right now with that, and they are so banged up. I think they lost Phillips again for the year. They're so banged up defensively too. I actually think this is a get-right game for Richardson. That he's going to have one of his games where it's like, oh, we love him again. Then he'll throw another stinker in next week.
Yeah, sure.
But I think with how many injuries they have, they're not going to be able to get to him. He might run for 100 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's interesting. I mean, I don't hate your thought process. I just hate the Colts as favorites, quite frankly. But I get where you're coming from for sure.
I agree with you, but this is basically saying it's a pick 'em with the 3. Yeah. And I just think that the Dolphins are an absolute wreck right now.
Yeah, right. All right. I'm going to go back to the well with the team that hates me and nobody likes. But, look, they shouldn't be favored by – I mean, This is nuts. Panthers plus 7.5. Commanders.
Hey, they got your one win last week.
Yeah. Commanders are good. They are good. Jane Daniels is great. I've been tooting his horn for a long time.
Drew Shipley wrote him before this. He said Commanders minus, don't even care on the cover.
Good luck. You and everybody else, man. The Commanders are a team, like whenever I see a line, you go from a 6.5 point dog 1 week to a 7.5 point dog the next. Like, are the Commanders, I ask myself, are the Commanders a top 10 team in the NFL? I don't think so. And that being said, then, okay, so we know Carolina's bottom, but like, if you're just saying the Commanders are just kind of the average road, no way should they be laying more than a touchdown to anybody. And, the last week was a fluky loss, unfortunately, for Carolina. They were in that game against Atlanta the whole way. In fact, they were covering like the whole game until Dalton made a boneheaded pick. But this also feels like just a let off the brakes game. The Commanders are off the big game against Baltimore. This feels like the game they come out a little slow. They got the Bears on deck. That game's been flipped to a prime time with Caleb Williams. I don't know. This is like your classic spot that like everyone's like, oh, wow. And then all of a sudden Panthers win by 10. I think everyone's going to play it in Survivor as well. Everyone's taking
this will be the big play in Survivor.
Yeah, because everyone will use the Commanders. And if you've done that this year, it's been a recipe for disaster. So
it's been a weird Survivor year. Not that we would know.
Yeah. So it's an ugly one. No one wants it.
I gotta think about that before we put it in a Survivor, but I'm definitely gonna
It's fine. I get it.
I'm definitely gonna think about it.
Okay.
My next play is I see the public's going to Minnesota on this, but I like the Lions at 2-point dogs at Minnesota.
Okay.
They talked about a little bit on Thursday Night Football. Is Sam Darnold going to turn into a pumpkin at some point? I think so. He did not play great in their London win either. He's been okay, but he has not been lighting it up like he did those first 3 weeks.
Right.
And dude, the Lions offense, how are you going to stop that? They have it all. They have backs, they have a line, they have pass catchers. I know Minnesota's getting Hawkinson back this week, but he's got to be on a snap count if he plays.
Yeah.
Look, Aiden Hutchinson, the loss of him is a big, big deal. Massive. I'll be shocked if they don't try to make a run at somebody at the deadline. Maybe they can convince Zahn Red to come play for a year. Who knows? Yeah. But I think the Lions are a better football team than the Vikings, and I just don't see the Vikings going 6-0.
Yeah.
That's just all it is.
It is crazy to think about. The Vikings might be the most disrespected, undefeated team in the history of the football.
Preseason, if you told me their over-under was 6 wins for the season, I'd have paused and thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm not sure.
Right. Yep. I don't have a play in that game, so not against you either. Let's see. I'm going to go with I'm going to take the Raiders plus 6.5 at the Rams. And another ugly one that nobody wants. Like, first off, this line opened at 4.5. And at that price, I was like, I'll probably just pass. That feels about right. And then all of a sudden, Devontae gets traded, line goes up. And then I'm like, wait a minute. He hasn't played for 3 weeks. The line was already accounted for it. How do you move a line points when the guy hasn't even played? That makes no sense. And now it's 6.5. I'm like, okay. So I look back at the Rams. They've scored over 20 points once this season. And they got injuries everywhere. They have no home field advantage. Do they feel like their season's lost? They've been extremely disappointed. I mean, where's the margin coming from? I don't know. I don't feel like this Rams team's built for margin. We'll see. I don't know. This was like another plug your nose game. I get it. But 6.5 for the Rams? No, no thanks.
So I hammered it at 4.5 when it came out.
Okay.
On Monday night, I saw it go hammer. Yeah. I think the line has changed because I think everybody did that. I think they start trying to get their money back.
Yeah.
The Rams did make my card.
Okay.
I don't love it at 6.5. I loved it at 4.5, but I just think they're going to win by a touchdown. I just see it differently as the season gone type deal. Is that I told you last year when they hired Antonio Pierce, it was a reactionary deal because they messed. He's not. What was the guy's name? the special teams guy you didn't hire that got you to the playoffs?
Yeah, he's on Green Bay now.
The Green Bay special teams guy. His name's escaping right now. This was a reactionary deal to that for a lot of reasons.
Pierce is still 500 though.
I'm not saying he's not going to be 500 in the year ends.
No, I'm saying, but he inherited a brutal situation though. I mean, just a reckless shit show.
I couldn't agree more. I just do not think he's a head coach.
Sure,
I don't know where it's coming. I think you guys just do not have a quarterback.
No quarterback and no O-line is not a good recipe for the NFL.
No, he does get cut back this week. Again, we'll see how many plays he plays, but this is just the Rams have to win. This is a team we both picked to make the playoffs, I think. I know I did.
Yeah, I don't know if I used them. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on the Rams. So yeah, I get it though. I mean, it's not that I understand it. I just was shocked that it moved that much.
The Raiders are just until proven otherwise. I gotta see it.
Sure.
My next one is I don't know why, because they can't beat them, but I'm gonna back Purdy here. This is like you gotta go. I know the Chiefs are 5-0. They're playing a different style of football than they used to. I get it, but this is the Niners need the Niners going to win this game. I think everybody knows they're there, but no one's really talking about them being the whatever powerhouse in the NFC right now. They will be again if they win this game. They have to win this game for their own psyche, especially if they're going to see them again in the Super Bowl. I like the Niners here. It's at home. It's a mid-afternoon game, but I like the Niners. I got them at -1. I'm seeing it at -1, -1.5 some places, but it's probably really stupid. I've seen Mahomes' record as a dog. It's something like insanity.
Yeah,
like 12-1, something really stupid like that. But you need to read off a bye. I get it. I know his record too. Everything I said it's really stupid, but I'm gonna eat the trash here.
Cool. Well, play number 1.
Good. We got one.
Fully on board. I absolutely love it. I love the Niners here. Everybody knows the Andy Reid off the bye. You alluded to it, right? The Mahomes as a dog. Who isn't? Everyone's and I promise everyone is teasing. This is your 6-point teaser up. They're teasing the Chiefs to 7.5. I think I'll say it. Niners win by double digits. I don't think it's close. I think Niners win going away. Chiefs haven't been tested. They've been on the right side of a lot of things here. And, I think this is a great spot, honestly, for the Niners. So fully on board. One of my favorite plays maybe of the year so far.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm going to find a pleaser play there then. I'll get them up to -8, -7.5. Like that.
Yeah. So
cool.
I'm going to go – this one's interesting. I'm curious on your take on this one. I don't know if you have it, but Cardinals plus 2.5 Monday night. Like the way I'm reading this one is I just kind of shocked me that they were a dog here. This game feels like more of a pick 'em. In terms of when you think they were just 5-point dogs last week at Green Bay. And so they're saying essentially that Green Bay and the Chargers are like equal. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. So I just think there's crazy value here. This feels like the spot too where the Cardinals now are kind of getting forgot about. And I like him in that home dog role. It's a Monday Night Football game. This just feels right here to back them. So plus 2.5. I was shocked. I just shocked that they're underdogs. I felt like it was a pick 'em. This feels like a pick 'em to me. Play number two. All right. Fair enough.
That's also on the card. I'm glad you got to explain it because I feel like the Cardinals have been on my card every single week.
Yeah.
This line, I think, is the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah, completely agree.
The Cardinals are going to win the game. I was shocked to see them as dogs.
Yep.
And home dogs on Monday Night Football, the Cardinals have been in some weird games. They're really bad in the back end, the secondary, but
yeah,
the good thing the Chargers don't have is who's going to go exploit that secondary.
Yeah.
If you got explosive guys that can get down the field and good route runners, sure, but if I'm blitzing Herbert all day or just I'm doing that, or just sitting in a soft zone and making him go underneath.
It's kind of like this Cardinal season feels like it's on the line here.
It kind of it is.
It is.
They got to start picking some of these up. So no, but I actually love the Cardinals. It's maybe it might be my favorite play of the week.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, perfect.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to add one more here. And I'm going to lay it with the Jets. I'm going to go back to them. Wilson's getting the nod. I think the Steelers are making a massive mistake here. I just do. I don't think why, for what? You're winning games. This doesn't make sense to me. So I thought the Jets got hosed. It feels like this is almost the Jets season on the line, quite frankly, this week. I think Pittsburgh still has some wiggle room because that division's kind of outside of Baltimore, kind of up in flames right now. I just take the desperate team. I don't know. And it's probably inflated with the Devontae news, but I tell you what, you can't cover two. You can't use 4 guys to cover Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. So even if Devontae's a decoy, that means Garrett Wilson might go off. So play number 3.
Play number 3.
Okay.
The Jets are my second favorite play.
Okay.
They should have won the football game last week.
Yeah, they were the better team.
This isn't an Adams come in and learn the offense. He knows the offense. It is plug and play.
Correct.
And he has not been hurt the last 3 weeks.
No, he has not.
The hamstring is just fine.
Yeah.
It was never hurt. That was a very different thing. So
Correct.
There's no knocking some rust off for him. He's going to be ready to go on that. And I put $20 after week 1. Shane Finnegan had some offshore. He finds weird things that have crazy odds for like season totals during the season. $20 on Lazard to lead the league in touchdowns for like $2,000 almost. He's leading the league right now. And I know adding Devontae is one thing. He's going to be so open in the red zone right now because of those 2 other guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be so open. Like, that bet is live.
Yeah. Wow. That's going to be a sweat.
Lazard might only catch another 20 balls this year. 10 of them might be touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, but dude, I love the Jets here. This is a Rodgers, a pissed. They have to win this game.
Yeah.
He has to win this game.
Yeah.
I mean, he hears all the noise and that stuff too. Go out and win. And the other reason too is why are you getting off a young Fields? He's 4-2. He's winning games. Your offensive line's not very good. Russ is old. He can't move anymore. He's a big young guy. I just don't. I don't understand what you're doing here. He's winning you games.
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, look, you've had the experience of Russ yourself watching him. So, like, my opinion, he's refused to like acknowledge that. I think he still thinks he's Russ from 8 years ago. He's not. He just isn't. And I think
I'm not sure if he does or not anymore. But I don't get it. I really just don't get, like, if Fields hasn't been like move the world, but he's made plays with his feet. That's a really bad offensive line. Russ likes to hold the ball.
Yeah,
he's not going to be able to hold the ball.
No. Yeah, and it's really weird because if there was a coach I would say that doesn't make this move, it's actually Tomlin, because Tomlin's one of those guys. He doesn't care if they win 6-3. He's a win ugly guy.
So which just goes to whatever conversation he had with Russ to convince Russ to do that deal. He must have just promised it was him.
Yeah.
But this is like somebody. I have a buddy that's a huge Hawkeye fan, Luke Potoff, and a huge Steelers fan. And his brother was just like, he told me, he's like, man, Tomlin, he really just is Kirk Ferentz. He told me he's going to go back to him. It's just because that was his guy, so he's going to be quarterback now.
Right. I guess. Yeah.
Maybe. But, dude, I'm with you. I think the Jets win by over touchdown, too. So, actually, that's going to be my pleaser play. It's going to be the Jets and the Niners reverse pleaser. They're both going to win by over touchdown. That'll pay off nice.
All right. Cool. That's all I got for the week. So, if you got another one.
Yeah, I do have another one. I have 8 plays this week, which
let's go.
I actually have Broncos, too. I actually had 9 games I love, which is probably not good. But maybe it is. It's time for us to get hot. I like the Packers.
Okay.
I like the Packers at home, -3 versus Texans. I think the Packers are really, really, really good, and I think the Texans are a little overinflated. Like, I get it; they're playing awesome. I think that Nico Collins' injury is a bigger deal on the road in spots.
Yeah,
not at home. It is what it is. Like Stroud's a man; they're good. The Packers are sneaky becoming my Super Bowl pick over the Niners. All
right. I don't think you don't have to convince me here. this just missed for me, so I think we'll just go ahead and probably add this to our card.
Fourth play there at the pack.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that -2.5 some places too. I actually bet him. I got him earlier this week at 2.
Yeah, the Texans kind of win and covered last week. Was a little fugazi too against the Patriots. I mean, I think the Patriots had 4 turnovers, maybe 5.
It was weird.
You kind of covered and won in spite. So back-to-back road games here. They're finally tested. Yeah, I agree with you. Packers at home, a little bit different animal here. So, yeah. All right. I don't hate that. So we just got to find one more.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at too, is with Jordan Love. Also, can we talk about that right now?
Yeah.
That injury looked like it was completely season over.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, he's back, and they're talking about 1 week. I'm like, how did he not go on IR? That's insane what those young dudes' bodies can do in that. My leg bends that way. I'm maybe never playing golf again.
Yeah, right.
In my life.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
All right, that's good. We'll get there for our fourth play. But before we get into our college plays here, why don't we throw it and get a word from our sponsors?
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. In 2023, a crack Green Beret named Dan Douglas retired his military command and promptly escaped to a full-time career in real estate. Today, this man is wanted by home buyers and sellers who want to survive the process without spending a fortune. If you have a home to sell or want to buy one, maybe you can hire Dan Douglas at Green Beret Realty. You can find him at greenberetrealty.com. greenberetrealty.com.
Welcome back to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We just wrapped up our NFL plays here. We are more than due to get hot here again, but like I said, just gotta get above that 55% line. It takes 2 good weeks in a row, and you're right where you need to be. Get into college plays here. We talked a little bit about the clones earlier too. A just missed play for me here was Michigan State. It's just weird and stinky. Jason McIntyre actually talked about it on the herd the other day. I was leaning Iowa to start the week, and then I'm like, that is going to be just a tough out, I think, at Sparty. I think Iowa's going to win. I see it being an ugly, ugly game, like a 13-10 type win. I actually kind of like the under. I think it's like 39.5. I kind of like the under. But that was a just missed play for me. Who I'm going to take is I'm going to take Kentucky at Florida. I've watched some Florida football this year. I think they're awful.
They're bad. I
think that this line should be closer to a touchdown than it is even a field goal. So I think Kentucky -1, almost a pick 'em. Okay. They've just been kind of just both sides, Jekyll and Hyde, all year with that. So if Kentucky shows up at all, I think they actually pound them.
Okay.
I mean, Florida's coach is dead. The players have quit. He's going to be out. Yeah. I don't know who their coach is going to be, but I think this is like a Kentucky roll spot.
Okay. I got 2 that I'm still debating about. They're both home dogs here. It's I think I'm gonna go. I'm between Arkansas and West Virginia actually.
West Virginia just missed for me too, and our 5 pick and play and something else. I actually took them. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna take them here at +3. I'll make that my official one. Arkansas is also +3 at home against LSU. But West Virginia, this is a tough spot. They're getting a little credit from the win last week at Colorado. Deservedly so. But Travis Hunter, left that game early. And now I think West Virginia's in a good bounce back. I mean, you talked about it last week with them. They have 3 losses, and those teams haven't lost a game. So I mean, can you really fault West Virginia? They're probably the best. Like, I think they're the best 3-3 team in the country.
And they're gonna, and look, maybe Iowa State's just better than we want them to. We're just used to them doing it. Maybe they're just better. We think they are.
Yeah, they could, and they very well could be. So it's like, you can't knock down West Virginia that much. Look, we always know West Virginia in Morgantown, goofy spot. It's a hard travel for teams. I think coming off that elevation, now with Kansas State going here. And
you're going to lose back-to-back games as home dogs?
At night?
No way.
Yeah,
actually, that's why I like this play too.
Yeah. So West Virginia +3, and I didn't hate. It's a massive week in college football. So
it is moving week in college football. There's some people that are going to be moving up the charts that are kind of solidifying themselves to have a shot the rest of the year for the playoffs. There's going to be some eliminated.
Yeah, I mean it could be hilarious if Georgia and Alabama lose. I mean, who would have thought that we might have a picture with both of them out?
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, think about it. It's possible though.
If Georgia and Bama are both out, the SEC is going to be stomping to make this just a 2-conference deal forever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because I can't handle that. But
No.
The SEC is just not. Well, the NIL, the best thing that has happened to NIL, they got to just find not restraints, but like it's the player movement more than the NIL to me. The NIL doesn't really bother me. It's the player movement has to have something. You can't just go every year. I think you get one free move at any time. And then if you go again, you got to sit out a year. And then go back. And if you've graduated somewhere, then you get to go right away too. So you could go twice and play 3 teams. But playing for 4 teams in 4 years is just it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for programs like an Iowa State and even smaller to retain people because you coach somebody up and then when they're ready as a junior, they show out and then somebody steals them.
Yep.
So I really the NIL is great though because it has
the parity.
We have a 12-team playoff, and teams when they get injuries now, they're not like Bama and Georgia used to be. They're 3 deeps for NFL first rounders that were freshmen or sophomores.
Yeah, right.
Those guys aren't sticking around anymore. You got to find ways to keep your own guys. So it's even the playing field everywhere. Those guys, there isn't 100 guys on one roster. Those other 50 guys that weren't starting or playing are somewhere else in the nation.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. 100% agree. Cool.
All right. Well, I'll run through our plays here quick. Unless you got something else to add. You said Arkansas was your close miss.
I lean them too, yeah, because they're I like their situation off a bye. People forget they just beat Tennessee at home 2 weeks ago. I think LSU's a little overhyped off of that win that they shouldn't have won against LSU last week. So I think it's a big letdown spot for LSU. I think they're another team they should not be ranked in the top 10.
All right,
but. Yeah.
So I had a big card this week. I had 8 plays, which is a lot for me. I had the Jags -5.5, the Colts -3, the Lions +2, the Rams -6.5, 49ers -1, Jets -1.5, Cardinals +2.5, and the Packers -3. And I took Kentucky -1 for my college play. Smool, I had you for 6 plays, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yep, I had you for the Titans +9.5, the Panthers +8, the Raiders +6.5, the Niners -1, Cardinals +2.5, the Jets -1.5, and you had West Virginia +3 as your college play. We did decide on 4 of our circle plays already, which was the Niners, Cardinals, and Jets that we agreed on, and then you said throw the Packers in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to powwow on our 5th pick. But yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, man. Well,
hey, fun little morning session today.
Yeah, absolutely. Good way to start Friday.
Yeah, I'm ready for Key to get back home from work tonight. So
there you go.
Figure myself back out.
All right, buddy.
All right, man.
Cool.
Anything else? So as always, I'm Teddy Smool. Cash that ticket. Thanks, Chip.